Hello, and welcome to What's Your Story? And speaking of stories, today is it's a story all about stories. We're talking to two wonderful people about the Summerlin Book Fair. And my guests are Diane Romano. Welcome, Diane. And Stephen Murray, The Gift of Giving. You know, Stephen is one of our own television show hosts here at WWDBTV. The Gift of Giving is his show, and it's a very, very popular show. But Stephen is a big part of this book fair. So we're really glad to have you both here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, Judy.
Oh, it's
Pleasure to be here.
Well, you know, people love to know about books.
Mhm.
And sometimes people say, well, reading is not as popular as it used to be. But there are a lot of us that still like to read. We like to
Mhm.
hold that book in our hand, even more
Yes.
than the little
Yep.
Kindle thing.
That's right.
So what inspired this book fair?
Well, I got inspired with some friends. We used to truck down to the Las Vegas Book Fair. And we came out one year and I thought, I live in Sun City, Summerlin. Probably most of our residents there, we're a small town by ourselves. We're over
Yes.
14,000 people. A lot of them can't drive. They can't make that trek down.
Yeah.
So why don't we have a book fair for Summerlin?
Yes.
So we thought about it and we talked about it and we said, okay, I've got a group of people that'll help me try to get it started. And then COVID hit.
Mm,
And COVID just, everything disintegrated.
yes.
So I'm having lunch once we all back. COVID's not over, but at least we can wear a mask and go out. And I was with another friend who said, whatever happened to the book fair? Well, it was a few years go by, we forget, Judy. She said, let me pay the bill. She pays the bill, puts me in the car, drives me over to her church at Mountain View Presbyterian. Said, we have a fellowship hall. Will this work for you? I said, yeah. She went in the back. She told the people at the church, she said, this lady wants to have a book fair. It'd be perfect at our church. There
Wow.
we go.
There you are.
And so
And it's still held at the same place today, right?
same place. And that was 2023.
Yes.
That was our first year. We only had a few weeks, Stephen, I think,
Yes.
what, 2, 3,
Wasn't
4
too
weeks
long. Mhm.
to get fly. We didn't know what we were doing. And we had, I don't know, 35 or 40 guests who came through. So it wasn't so bad.
Yeah,
So we have homemade signs and every year we're getting more.
that's wonderful.
My
That's
goal this
wonderful.
year is 125 to 150 people.
I think you're definitely going to get them.
I hope so.
Yeah, I
hope
think so. I think so. Now, how would you describe the theme or the focus of this year's fair?
Well, Stephen is wonderful about getting our authors to come,
Mhm.
Stephen. We couldn't do it without you. Stephen is just amazing.
I know.
He knows so many authors and so many literary people. So he gets the word out. And our theme this year, it's just going to be come out and meet authors and find out what they're writing about and what they have to share.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Someone said to me the other day, you know, we don't have very many authors in Las Vegas. And I said, where have you been?
Where have you been? We have
'Cause-
hundreds.
Yes.
Hundreds.
Yes. Every time I turn around, there's somebody else that I know that's written a book.
That's written a book. And
Yeah.
Stephen, you have a waiting list again this year, I think.
Yes, it's on. We're at capacity right now, but we have expanded a little bit the theme, if you will, because this year we are having copycat books. You know, a bookstore in Las Vegas. They're coming and they're having a table there, and we are having Mystic Publishing.
Right.
That's another
Local publisher.
local publisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got 8 authors that belong in their stable, for want of a better word. So it is going to be more of a fair. It's not just authors signing
Yeah.
books. Yes, there will
Yeah.
be over 3 dozen local authors. And you're right, there are a lot. I put out a monthly newsletter, and I have over 140 local authors on that list.
That's
And
amazing.
I don't know everybody. I don't know all the authors in Las Vegas, that's for sure. And I keep getting new people adding all the time. So it's nice that there are so many, but it's not well known.
And
The
how many
author-
are actually participating this year?
We've got 38 authors.
And then we've got a couple publishers.
We've got the one publisher and Copycat Bookstore.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And that's
wonderful.
the only room we have, Judy. We are out of room.
Yes.
See, that venue cannot hold anymore. We're limited by the space and the fire marshal's amount of people.
Yeah.
So that's it. We can't grow anymore in that venue, but they're
But-
wonderful.
Who knows? We're in Las Vegas. We can grow.
We could grow. We're
Yes.
trying to grow.
Yes, we can grow. Now, what can visitors expect when they walk through the door?
Well, it's usually a roar of people, and there are authors that are quiet. We have some authors that do all kind of fun things at their table. Some of them only have one book. Some have numerous books. So it's a wonderful way to go and see what books there are and ask questions. We had a lady last year. She does, what's the little thing where you bring her family information and she will provide for you a game with all your family information. It is just
That's
amazing
amazing.
what she does for it's really a very reasonable thing. And every one of them is unique. So people stand there and they get ideas for Christmas gifts, and just, it goes on and on. It
That's
just branches
amazing.
out. Yep.
I think also when people will come in, it's not noisy, but it's conversational.
Mhm.
Because you've got all these authors and they're all talking about their books to all these different people.
Yes.
And so when you've got that number of authors and that number of people at the tables, when people walk in, they will hear a hub of activity.
Yes. Yes.
In fact, last year, we were going to have a keynote speaker address.
Right.
And everyone was so busy talking at the tables.
They didn't care about having a keynoter.
No.
I'm so glad it wasn't me. I would have had my feelings hurt.
Well, Stephen didn't have his feelings
No,
hurt.
I was the
But-
one that said, I think we should just bypass it
Just
because
bypass it.
everybody's busy talking to the authors and getting their books signed and seeing people carrying
And
these books
enjoying just wonderful things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
great.
We had one young author last year, very young man. He wrote mystic type books.
Mhm.
And I thought, I wonder, maybe this is an older group coming to book fairs. He loved it. He couldn't wait to tell me at the end of the day, please let me come next year. I can't remember the young man's name, but he was so excited, and he only has one book, but he's working on his second. So he'll be there this year.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, what do you think makes book fairs so important in today's digital market?
I think if you speak to teachers of almost any grade level, they will tell you that children whose parents limit their exposure to all these electronic gadgets and they read, they grow up in homes with books. Those are the children who go on to have very successful adult careers. They go on to have very successful lives for the most part.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's wonderful. But we have to get more parents to get their children reading.
Well, I think if you talk to a lot of the teachers in various schools, there are, you only hear bad things, Judy.
Mhm.
But you talk to a lot of the teachers in a lot of the schools, and they do have children who read, who teach younger children.
Mhm.
I have 2 grandchildren that have been reading since I think they were old enough to walk.
Right.
And I have a great grandbaby now. And that great grandbaby has at least 16 books already.
Oh, that's
There you
amazing.
So
go.
my granddaughter stands him up and she lays in her little, she's tiny. She's only 2.5 months old.
Mm.
And she lays there looking at all the colors. So she's going to be our next reader.
She's going to be a reader, isn't
She's
she?
going to be a reader for sure.
Have you noticed any emerging trends in what readers are looking for? Do you think readers look for anything in particular? What genres?
Well, it's been my experience. I try and do a lot of book signings and I do cover a lot of genres. And it's normally the first question when somebody comes up to my table, I'll say, what kind of books you like to read? What's your favorite genre? And it literally is across the board. And there are some people that just say anything I can get my hands on.
Mhm.
I just like anything. And I was at a book signing last week, and I had two people come up and they just said, take one of each of your books. And mine are all in different genres. And they just wanted one of each. They just like to read anything and everything.
We like those kind of people.
Yeah, I love them.
Well,
Revel in them.
and they want to be entertained.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
think people are, you talk to a lot of people and they'll tell you TV is not so entertaining. They love the talk shows because they're learning. People
Mhm.
want to learn. And as our population gets older and more people are retired, I think they have time to read. Maybe you didn't have time when you were
Yes.
younger. You know, it was a limited amount of time during your working years.
Yeah.
And so I think we're seeing a lot of that also. Makes a big difference.
And I think the other thing is that there are certain readers, they don't necessarily like any specific genre. They will follow an author if they like that style of
They
writing.
like that stuff,
So
definitely.
if they like the style, they will follow the author as opposed to the genre.
Well, I know I do that. They're like Mitch, what is his last name? Mitch Albom. Mitch
I'm not too
Albom.
sure.
I love his writing.
Love his writing.
And I
Mhm.
also love, now my brain is going, I
Well,
was going to
because
tell
it's-
you, and my brain is going, duh, who do you like, you know?
Well, if you read a lot, you do,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
a whole lot of
Yeah.
different people. But look at all the book clubs that are so famous. If I see a book, like in a thrift store even, or walking through a bookstore, and I see the sticker on it from Oprah's book club, or from, what's the other cute little young one? Oh goodness, I can't think of her name. It's her book club, and you just already know that it's going to be it's a girl's thing, and it's going to be a girl's book. I got to buy it.
Yeah.
No matter where it is, I got to get it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, there are millions of people that follow those different.
Oh, I'm sure they do, because I know that I do. I know for years I bought everything Nora Roberts wrote. You know, it was like certain people, you just have to have what they write,
That's
because you
right.
know they're going to
That's
write something
exactly
really
right.
exciting and
Sure.
interesting. So how long does it take to organize an event like this?
Well, Stephen works at it pretty often. I don't do much during the summer, but now it gets kind of crazy. Stephen organizes the authors, so he's got really a lot to do. As long as we are at the church in their venue, it's pretty easy. The biggest thing we have is to get approval for our signage to put
Yeah.
out to let people know where we are and what the times are. And once we get that done, it's getting easier now every year because
Mhm.
we're learning.
Yes.
And this is what, the fourth or
Third.
fifth year?
Third
Third.
year.
Third
Mhm.
year, yeah. Yeah, so you
So
are.
we're finally kind of getting into what we
Groove.
feel is comfortable. We know what's going to work. We know we learned last year things that didn't work,
Yes.
and we learned that we wasted some space where we could have had a few more offices. So we fixed that for this year, and I think it's all going to be very exciting this year. I'm excited that Stephen has gotten the bookstore, the publisher. It's different, and,
Yes.
and it'll add up. You know, I think every year if we add new things to make it
Oh, yeah.
exciting,
Yeah.
and our people tell us.
Yes.
The authors
This is
tell
feedback.
Stephen,
Mhm.
they give him great feedback. And
Yes.
and as I walk around usually once we get started, and I'm listening to people say, well, what do you all have a table that has this, or do you have? And if we didn't have it, then maybe it's something we can look into doing.
Right. Are there any memorable or funny things that have happened that you reminisce back on and say, oh, let's have another one of those, or let's not do another one of those?
Well, I think the first year we had no idea where to put signs, and my husband, who volunteers to put our signs out, because we can't do them the day before, we have to do them that morning. So he's out there early when it's still windy, and he's had signs blow away. So he knows now. He carries big rocks around and props them all up, and we prepare for any kind of weather.
Right, yeah. And right now, we've got to be prepared,
gotta be
because
prepared.
The rain that's been coming lately has
Yeah.
been unexpected.
Unexpected, to say the least. So anyway, hopefully our signs will survive any weather we can throw at them.
Yeah. So where do you see the future of book fairs going?
I see this one growing.
Yes, I do too.
I mean, Stephen has so many people that he has to turn down. or we get on a waiting list because
Yeah.
we only have so much room.
Yeah.
And so if we keep growing like I think we will, at some point we'll outgrow maybe the church venue. But right now, it's a great place for us to be. Lots of parking, lots of easy in and out, no traffic jams. So people will love that part of it.
Yeah, and I think also the key is, as it relates to book fairs, it is the venue. That is part of the issue. As you know, we had one earlier this year at up at Mount Charleston,
Right,
the resort
right.
at Mount Charleston, because they had the space.
Hmm.
And the lady that organizes the event, she was happy to work with us, and she was enthusiastic about it. A couple of years ago, we had a few down at the Prim outlet shops, and they had us all down the corridor, and we had it, I think, three. We had one in the spring and one in the fall and another one the following spring, and then the person in charge left, so that one kind of fell away.
Yeah.
But if we could find the venues, it's certainly not a problem finding the authors, and
Yeah.
I think
Yeah. I'm
and those
seeing.
are just ones we're involved in. The other people are organizing other events,
Sure.
as you know.
Yes, I'm
you know.
seeing people organize events where they have like a meal, like lunch, and then they have 3 or 4 authors speak at the luncheon, and they just packing people in. You know?
Packing people in.
People want to come and
They
hear
wanna
the
come.
authors and hear
Mhm.
what they're writing about. So I think it's wonderful.
Mhm.
And I think it's only going to grow. I think as people have time to read, and I think a lot of the electronic media has worn people out.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for a quiet venue where they and their whatever book they enjoy, whatever type of genre they enjoy reading, they can sit and relax, be entertained with a good story in a very relaxing way.
Yeah, yeah. And I understand you have door prizes.
We do. We have a free raffle. There's no charge for our raffle. And this year, we started the first year, we had 3 door prizes. Last year, I think we had 6. It looks to me like we'll probably make a dozen this year.
Oh,
at
that's
least.
amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they're all lovely. Some of them are books, some are basket gifts. So, just authors have been showing up with things last year unexpectedly. And I think we've had a few this year, Stephen, that have
Yes.
said.
Yes.
So we will have, we'll have another nice group of door prizes.
So there's no charge to go to the book fair,
No.
and there's no charge for the door prizes. It's a pretty
There's
good.
refreshments.
It's a pretty good deal, isn't it? There are refreshments too.
Yeah,
Yes.
we all have refreshments.
Always
There's
have
coffee,
coffee
tea,
and-
and some
and
cookies and a few little snacks like that. And people can just come if you want to buy a book. That's the goal, is for authors to get their name out there and their books out
Mhm.
there, and to sell books.
Mhm.
But if you can't buy a book right now for whatever reason, come and meet some authors and decide that down the line you want one of their books.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
opportunity,
It's a
isn't it?
wonderful opportunity. Wonderful.
And we have got all authors in all kinds of categories, across the board categories. Murder mystery, biographies, romance, children's books,
Self-help.
self-help books,
Historical. We have a bunch of people that write historical
historical
fiction.
fiction,
Yes.
and
quite a few of those.
haiku. Got somebody that does haiku.
Haiku.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
For a
It's
little
across
bitty
the
book
board.
fair, we have everything, a little bit of
Yeah.
everything.
That's wonderful. Now, when is it? It's on a Saturday,
Saturday, November the 15th,
November 15th,
Mhm.
and that's from what time to what time?
10 to 2.
10 till 2.
From 10 to
Mhm.
2.
Yeah.
So
4
that's
hours.
a perfect time for people
Mhm.
to go and
Well, it is for people, morning people. There's something, and people that want to come after lunch, there's time. And it's 4 hours, I think, is a long enough time
Yes.
for our authors, because when they sit at these tables and people start coming in, they start talking and visiting with the people who come. I think 4 hours is a lot,
Yes.
Stephen, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. It's enough for the authors.
And I think it's good for the people to have a 4-hour time limit that they can come, and they can come late enough that they can still do their breakfast out or whatever, and then it's early enough that they still have the day to do other things.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's worked out really well so far,
Yeah.
time-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who's never attended a book fair? What should they do?
Come and meet the ladies at our sign-in table up front. They'll tell you where to start and you just, if you've never been to a book fair, just make a circle around the room and see what might be interesting to you and stop and visit with those people. Most of the authors love for people to stop at their tables and visit, find out what their like is. And you may go to an author and that's not something you're interested in. That author may say, oh, we'll go see Susie down she's got just what you look, so it's across the board, all sorts of things.
I think too, if somebody's coming for the first time, if they're a little bit nervous or apprehensive, or it looks overwhelming when they walk into the room and they see all these people in this whopping big circle. We've got handout sheets that list all the authors and their genres.
That's wonderful.
And so if they're a little bit nervous and they like a certain book and they think, oh, I don't want to be overwhelmed by, going looking at every single table, they can just look down and they'll ask the people at the front desk, oh, where can I find this author? They write in the genre that I'm interested in. And at the front desk, they will have a list saying, this is where that person is, go over to that part of the room. If somebody's a little bit apprehensive or nervous.
Well, I think even if you're not a first-time person, this is such a great thing to have.
Well, this was feedback from attendees. We didn't have it the first year, and
No,
I think
we
we
didn't
did
have
it
it the
last
first
year
year.
more for the authors. We thought it would be nice for them to see their
Their
names
name,
on
and
a
we
thing.
put it up in a frame, so when you walk in at the front table, before you even get your flyer, it's right there, so you know that it's available. And
then apparently that was the feedback that the people at the front desk got last year, that from the attendees, the people that came to attend, they said they loved the fact that there was a list.
Yes.
right.
So we thought, so this is where Diane was saying we've been learning every year as we go.
Every year, we'll get
Well-
things this year, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
They'll get Stephen before he leaves. He'll have a list of things he's got to do. And then our phone starts ringing after it's over and they'll say, why didn't you do this? Or why didn't you have this? So we make notes because we won't remember by next year. And then we try to get together in the spring and make sure we can or can't do some of the things people have requested.
Yeah, yeah. Now, they don't have to have a ticket for this. They can just show up, come in the
That's
door.
correct. But I do advertise it on Eventbrite. So if, for those of people that are listening, if you go to Eventbrite, usually I would say the 1st of November, it should be on there. They can go there, free tickets. They don't need a ticket, but all the information will be on Eventbrite.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So that's,
And an advert was taken out in the Summerlin.
Yes,
News.
in the Summerlin newsletter. So
It's going out in November.
mhm.
The
And-
November edition, there's a quarter-page advert letting people know.
And it
And that
goes
goes
out
to-
to over 35,000 homes, they
Yes.
tell us.
that's amazing.
So, yeah, it should be quite an event. And
Well, I would think people better get there early because 35,000 homes, that's a lot of people.
that's a lot. Well, if we get 35,000 people, we may have the fire marshal at the front door. So hopefully we'll just get enough to fill our room. And that's really what our authors are looking for. Enough people that want to come in who love books. Because if you come to a book fair, you have to be a book lover.
Yes,
Sure.
yes.
And there's so many different books. I belong to 2 book clubs. And I tell people all the time, they'll say, Diane, you're reading that. Doesn't look like one. And I'm like, no, but you know what? It's interesting. And I'm forced because of book clubs to read certain things.
Yeah.
So Stephen and I, when I started reading Stephen's books, I'm like, that doesn't look like a book I would normally read. But his chapel books are my absolute favorite. I could read them again. They are wonderful. And so, you get out of your comfort zone when you meet authors who write different genres.
Yeah.
And I think there's another aspect. We're talking about people who come who just love books, not necessarily. Obviously, with those the main target, again, for want of a better word. But Hanukkah's coming up, and so is Christmas, and there are lots of people that are looking for gifts because their children or their parents might be book lovers,
Right.
and that's a real nice gift to actually go somewhere, get a book, and have it personalized by the author. And
What a gift.
if I wanted for somebody I know, I'd say, I've got a friend, her name's Beth. Could you make it out saying, Dear Beth, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Christmas, whatever, and sign it? And
Personal.
that personalized touch makes a world of difference as
Oh, I
opposed
think
to
it
just
does.
going to a bookstore. So I think for people looking for gifts for the holidays, for people they know who are book lovers, it's a perfect place to come to.
Perfect.
It is.
Last year we had Stephen had a lady come in. She does Spanish
Yes.
books in Spanish. So I needed we have children's office there. So I needed a children's book for one of the children in our family. He was 6 last year. He's taking Spanish since kindergarten in his little school in New Orleans.
Mm.
So when I heard she was there, and I went over, she had children's books in Spanish, and I got her to personalize. He's doing little Spanish lessons in his classroom. Now he's in 2nd grade this year, so I'm hoping that she'll be there, and I'll have a different one this year
Oh, yeah.
because he brought it to school and he could read a lot of it already.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
You
That's
know,
really wonderful.
He was so proud of himself with his little Spanish book, taking it to school.
Well, I understand because I was so proud of myself when my book came out in Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah. My You Are More Than Enough book is in Spanish,
Yeah.
and it's so exciting because I have ladies that tell me that they couldn't read my books before.
Yes.
And now when they
Oh.
see it in Spanish, and I've actually had a couple men come up at book fairs and buy the Spanish book to give to their mother or their grandmother
Oh, how
because they say
wonderful.
we can't find these kind of books,
Yeah,
for
sure.
them in Spanish. So it's we will have people that have their books in other languages that are
sure.
there as well. So
That's a big thing.
yeah,
And particularly here in Las Vegas, I think a lot of the schools, they are teaching second languages.
Yes.
Starting
yes.
as young as kindergarten and 1st grade. And my grandson, who is 25 now, when he was in school, he 1st grade, he started Spanish.
That's
and he's
amazing.
fluent in Spanish. When he was in college, he took a French immersion class.
Mm.
So from the first day, there's no English spoken in the class. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be a hard one.
No,
And
but because he had Spanish,
because he
an
had
advantage.
Spanish, well, most of the kids there had other languages
Mhm.
also, which is a help. But they just get right into it.
Yeah,
Amazing.
They do. Well, we're about out of time, but I want you to tell the people once again where it is, what it is, and how to get there.
Stephen, you want to give us our address? And
Sure. Okay. It's going to be held at the Mountain View Presbyterian Church, and the address is, I know it's on Del Webb. Let me make sure I've got it right. 8601 Del Webb Boulevard. It's on Saturday, November the 15th from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Love to see everybody there. Over 3 dozen local authors. There's publishers, Coppercat Bookstore, raffles, light refreshments. And we just love to see you there.
And we're right near the corner of Del Webb and Rampart. So that's an easy way to find.
Yeah.
We'll have signage there to get you in off of Lake Mead. We're going to have signage and signage off of Rampart. So
Wonderful.
come and visit us. We'd love to see you.
And if anybody has any questions or wants to reach out and get in touch with us, they can get in touch with me, Stephen, Stephen, at cassandras.net. That's CASANDRAS.net. Or Diane?
Diane Romano, DianeRomano at hotmail.com.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you both for being here. We so appreciate it. And I'm so excited. I can't wait for this to happen.
And we hope to see you there bright and early.
I
Bright and early
I
with
will
your
be
books all
bright and
set
early.
up for yours to sell.
Yeah, I have enough books.
There we go. There we go.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And thank you for joining us today on What's Your Story, because everyone has a story, and here's your opportunity to go and learn about a lot of the stories that people have written, pick up a book, get it autographed, and enjoy. Thank you for being with us. Come back again real soon.